creating the torso. We're gonna keep going with the cylinder creation method. Go ahead, create a cylinder, bring it to the center, go to the inputs, increase the radius, increase the height, change the subdivision axis to about maybe 16 or so. Then take the subdivision height and let's do about a 6. Increase this a little. Maybe we can go a bit more, somewhere along those lines. Then go to the side view and start adjusting the vertices so that they match your model. Once you finish matching up your cylinder from the side, we can move and do the same on the front. Our character is pretty squared out, so this should be actually quite easy. One of the good things about using this method is that will allow us to have complete control over the geometry that we put in our character. Okay, so that looks about right. As you guys can see here, when you have this situation happening, that means that you have to turn on soft selection. You can turn on and off soft selection by double clicking on any of the tools here and just go down to the drop down menu, soft selection. If you click that off, it immediately goes away. If you want it back on, you can just click there. Okay, we're gonna select the top faces. And we can maybe extrude those inwards. Well, actually, before that, let's go ahead and scale those down slightly. And the idea here is that we kind of create a geometry that will resemble the neck. Let's now extrude that upwards, just like so. And you can also just bring that in, just like so. And now go ahead and get rid of the top there. Alrighty. Now, one thing that we're going to be working with our character here is with the symmetry. And this means that we will eventually duplicate. We're just going to work on one side of the character and then duplicate it over to the other side so that things look consistent. At this point, what you can do is go ahead and make a selection of one side of the character and go ahead and delete it. Only keeping the side of the character that is closer to the arm. At this point, we can select the vertices and move them slightly so that they match the outline of your character better. And here, we're probably gonna grab the slicer and holding down Control, I'm just gonna add a subdivision here. Now we're going to be combining both of these objects together so that we can create one solid piece. Before doing this, we want to analyze what we have so far. Let me go ahead into my object mode and just move this arm just slightly away so that we can analyze it better. And right now we need to keep in mind the number of edges that we have here on this arm. So we have 1, 2. We have 11 sided polygon over here so far. What we want to do is we want to make sure that whatever polygons we have, they match the amount of polygons that we have here, which, as you can tell right now, they're quite limited. So we're first going to tackle the sleeve. One way of doing that would be to go into your faces, go to the front view, select all the faces that are going to be constituting the sleeve, which probably is going to start somewhere around this area. Yep, that looks about right. And now we're going to create a geometry out of this arm to create the shirt. So we're going to go into Edit Mesh, Duplicate, Option Box. Here we want to make sure that separate and duplicate faces are on, and then hit duplicate. Here we'll be able to just move this outwards slightly. Make sure that there's no polygons kind of like overlapping each other or just going through each other. And now at this point we can work with this object on its own. Let's grab the vertices and let's start now minimizing the amount of geometry that we have so that we end up with about 8 different edges. So we can select now maybe these 2 vertices and merge them together. Remember, you can always press the letter G to repeat the last function. Okay, and we'll repeat the same back here. Notice here how we have geometry coming through. Make sure to address that as soon as you see it. Just grabbing the edges, moving them a little bit to the side, we'll take care of that. Okay, let's see where we at. All right, we currently have 10 different edges, so we can still merge some more. Maybe these 2 are pretty close together. Can definitely do that. And I think down here, maybe we can repeat this process maybe one more time. Maybe merging these two together. Let's edit this just a little bit, slightly. Very good. So now we have achieved the 8-sided polygons here, and that's going to be much easier for us to merge. Let's now grab our object mode. Let's grab both objects of the hand, go into the front view, put them on the right place. You can always modify it and center pivot. Yeah, kind of keep them closer together. And at this point, we can grab now 8 sides from our model, or from the torso. So let's go to faces and let's grab this 4. Let's hit delete, select, go to back to object mode, select all the objects, and let's go into, well, actually let's just grab the sleeve and the torso. And now we can go into mesh combine. Now both of these are one object. We do not need to do this step with the arm, just with the sleeve and the torso. Let's go and delete the history of these objects. Still on object mode, go to edit, delete by history. And now let's go ahead and grab the edges of these objects and then shift select the other one. Now we can go into edit mesh, bridge. Let's go into the option box. Let's select one division down here and click apply. Okay, now we can start cleaning up our mesh. Remember, if you get this situation, I think this is just Maya kind of glitching a little bit. Easy fix. Go into your Harper shade, select those faces, and then just apply initial shading to selection. All right, so it took a little bit of digging for me to find out exactly what was going on. On the past, I would just select the objects and then assign to shading, and that should take care of it. But this time around, that didn't work. So after some research, it's just a bug. It's literally a bug within the software. What I end up doing that end up fixing it was to grab the green faces, right? Once you have all of them selected, go ahead and create a new material such as a blend or a Lambert. I just selected a blend, add material to selection, and then add it back to Lambert number 1. Then at that point, you can just click on the blend and just delete it. And now it works. Well, it is one of those things, guys. One of those things in Maya. Sometimes the program is nice and user-friendly. Sometimes it's just not. At any rate, it doesn't matter. Let's go back to this. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to go to my front view and use multiple views to kind of fix my vertices. Yeah, guys, just bugs in general within this program are fairly common. Just kind of know that it is what it is. Do not get too frustrated. If not, rather focus on finding a solution. And sometimes it's just a Google search away. I myself have to literally do that multiple times while I'm on the creation of these tutorials, just kind of looking for possible solutions as far as like what's going on with the program. And to a certain extent, you expect this program to work in a certain way, but sometimes that's not reality. So we just have to kind of work through it. All right, well, at any rate, guys, and as you might have noticed by now, is really mostly about coming back in and editing these points around, kind of move them into place. When we talked about this whole entire process being a little tedious, this is literally what we meant. Sometimes stuff that you might think it might be easy and straightforward, it takes a little bit to kind of get just right. Be patient with yourself and make sure that you tackle a lot of these assignments with plenty of time so that you don't run into last minute issues. All right, this area here especially still bothering me a bit. I'm not feeling I'm getting the results I'm looking for. So I'll just go in and actually fix it the best I can. Try to avoid any polygons that might go through. Trying to slightly adjust what needs to be adjusted. Add another edge loop, couple more, maybe one here to make these transitions slightly smoother. Let's take a look of where we at, our results. Okay, not too shabby. Still some areas that we can work with a little bit more here, but for the most part, we definitely got a shirt done. Okay, in our next video, we're gonna talk about how to add the collar and the cuffs here for your shirt, just adding more details to our character.